Hey guys, me Dave. It's March 2nd, 3/2/2021. So, um I'm doing a video. I hope you guys doing well. Was reading your comments and all that stuff. I want to talk about our financial situations. Hard targets, they will prevent you from getting a job. They will interrupt relationships with your friends, your family. I've went through all that stuff. You know, my my family is with me, or well, not really with me. Um, they're involved. Um, they want to pretend like you have this mental illness. They're involved. They know I don't have mental illness. I mean, they're playing the game. They're acting, basically. Um, like there's something wrong with me and all this stuff. They will do that. They'll get your family involved. They'll get your coworkers involved. They will get your friends involved. They will. Uh, the last time I had a job was in 2014. Um, I was working at this. I was working night shift at this building. I was kind of a caretaker, and I didn't know what was going on yet. I was the only guy there. The rest were girls, younger girls, college girls and stuff like that. They were all involved. I had no idea what was going on. They were validating the technology. I had no idea. I didn't learn about that until I started watching Brian too. There's different ways they can validate their technology. Like I say, they put a thought in my head and they bang. That's what they do in my program. Um, you know, Todd Giffen, they put a thought in his head and they whistle. You know, he gets the whistling, I get the baying. You know, there's all kinds of different ways they can validate this technology and verify this technology and stuff. But they'll get everyone involved. They will. I don't know what they tell these people to get them involved. Um, it's pretty unreal. But I was going to talk about the financial part of our programs. They will make it so you can't get a job. You know, just recently, they put me on disability. It went through the first time. You know, it went through the first time with back pay. I had a good chunk of money in the bank. You know, um, I ended up buying a vehicle and all that stuff. I ended up buying two vehicles actually. Um, and then I ended up spending almost $1,000 helping a fake TI that was praising the God, and oh my God, she was jumping up and down and twirling in circles for God. But I tell you something, she would ask you to lie for her, you know, ask you to lie for her, oh, I'm trying to get a job, so if this guy calls you, lie and tell him that I worked for you for 5 years. What? you know? Okay, so I have a hard time. I have a hard time trusting some of these people that praise God and oh God Almighty. You know, I have a hard time trusting those types of people because they're not everything they crack up. They're cracked up to be. I used to work for a Christian company. Husband and wife owned it. They were stealing from us. They were stealing medications from the residents. They were drug addicts. They were wage theft, stealing wages from us. So we couldn't pay rent, hardly. Couldn't pay the bills. And they went to church and they were jumping up and down every Sunday. They were jumping up and down and they were feeding the homeless and they were doing all this stuff. And yet they were stealing from their employees. And the husband was a drug addict, and he was stealing medications from his clients, you know, almost pushing his way in the house and stealing medications. You'd have to tell him to leave, or you're going to call the police on him. You know, the owner, your boss. How uncomfortable is that? So I have a hard time trusting these people that act like they're old God mighty, you know, God Almighty, mighty, and all this stuff. That say, "Oh my God, I praise the God, and I'm reading Bible verses and all this stuff, but yet I will stab you in the back." You know, I have a hard time trusting those types of people. I think real. I'm not going to get into a whole lot of religion here, but people that are into God and love God and all this stuff, and Jesus and all this stuff, they don't need to brag about it. You know, I don't brag about it. I don't talk about it. You know, and all this stuff, and you know, I think these other people are putting on a show. They're putting on a show for everyone. You know, oh, I love God, and they say verses on Facebook and all this stuff, but yet you ask me to lie for you. You want me to lie for you so you can get a job. You know, you want me to lie for you. I've never met you in person, but you want me to lie for you. You want me to give you money. You want me to give you grocery money and all this stuff. And you're playing how many guys? You're playing how many guys to get money out of them, okay? You know, this person is well known on Facebook. I helped her out with 2 bus tickets. It cost me a good chunk of money. I gave her money so she could eat, you know, and all this stuff. And I got taken for a ride. I will never do that again, you know, never do it again. So there's a lot of fake people out there that praise the God, and oh my gosh, they're, you know, that type of person. I don't trust them. You know, I don't trust those kind of people. You know, they'll stab you in the back in a heartbeat. You know. So anyway, I didn't mean to go off into that. I was talking about financial. You know, what do we do as TIs to be financially secure? You know, I'm lucky. I'm discredited. You know, I'm discredited up the wazoo, you guys. But I have a stable income. You know, it's stable. It's a decent amount of income a month. I can live off of it. I can do things if I budget my money right. You know, I can still have a little fun here and there and go camping and stuff like that. Have a vehicle and all that stuff. So I'm kind of lucky in that sense, you know. So what do we do? What do you do if you're a TI and you're almost out, almost out on the street? That's a difficult situation. I've seen TIs out on the street living in a tent. Are they real TIs? I don't know. I question it. You know, I don't know. But I would hate to see anybody out on the street trying to struggle, going to the food shelf, going to a shelter. I mean, that would be horrible, you know. So what do we do? How do we change that? I don't know. I mean, you know, if we could find some true TIs that would take you in, and maybe you can get a job. You know, you know, some of these people will prevent you from getting a job. You know, you know, I've heard Dr. Duncan talk on interview before. That he said, well, if they're trying to make you crazy, you might just want to go with that, you know, so you can get on Social Security, so you don't end up on the streets, you know. And one of his books teaches you kind of how to do that, you know, because we do all pay into the system. You know, we paid into Social Security, you know. We're kind of entitled to that, you know. So what do you do if you have people that will help you? Um, like I say, if it wasn't for certain people in my program, I would be living in a vehicle right now with my dogs. You know, um, so certain people made sure that these people were trying to make me, put me out on the street. They were trying to make me put me out on the street. They were encouraging me to try to do drugs. I don't do drugs. They were manipulate mind remote neural manipulation. They can put the urge in you, even if you don't do drugs. They can send subliminals. They can try to put things in your mind. Hypnosis, you know, try to get you to do drugs. Make you into a drug addict. You could be living underneath the freeway. I'd be living in a vehicle right now if it wasn't for certain people in my program watching out for me. You know, I'm lucky that way. I have people looking out for me. I'm living with a family member right now. I pay rent here. But I tried getting a job. Even though I'm on Social Security, disability. I tried getting a job. Nobody, I applied at many, many places. Nobody will call me back. Nobody. They will not call me back. And I have experience, like 20 years experience in that field. They will not call me back for a job, and it's so difficult now. Everything's done online. You can't go to the place and pick up an application anymore. They tell you, well, you have to go to the website and fill out an application. Well, if you've been out of work for 6 years, there's no place on the application to explain that. How do you explain that? They're going to think, this guy hasn't worked in 6 years. What, has he been in jail, in prison or something? Or what's the problem here? And you can't explain that on a electronic application. So what do we do when we can't get work? If we don't have a vehicle, if it's very, very tough. We have to find people out there that will give us a break. I know there's lots of lots of TIs out there that open up their houses, but a lot of them are perps, you guys. A lot of them are perps. They'll set you up and they'll perp you the whole time you're there, and you'll be stuck there, until somebody sends you a bus ticket because you have no money. Oh, it's a setup, you guys. It's a big setup to make you fail. And some people are homeless. Living on the streets, and there are some good TIs out there that'll help. I've heard, there's been TIs out there. They will give a car, give a used car to a TI, but they can't keep it because they don't have any money to keep it going. They can't get insurance on it or tabs or whatever, so car gets towed and they're back on the street. It's a very difficult situation. I don't have an easy answer for that. We have to try to find people to help us that will give us a handout. It's tough. If they make it so you can't find a job, I would, McDonald's pays $12 an hour, $13 an hour now. That's decent money if you could work full time. I mean, that's almost $30,000 a year if you could work full time. At McDonald's making $13 an hour. But it's not that easy to do that. You gotta have a place to stay. You gotta be able to have clean clothes, clean uniform, or whatever. But if it came down to doing that, I would do it. If it meant I was gonna be on the street or not. But I don't know. There's no easy answer. But if you were to try to get Social Security, if these guys sent you to the psych ward and you got diagnosed, there's a chance you might be able to get Social Security from that. It's a chance. It's a try. It's worth a try to do. it's a setup. These guys have lots of power. You know, um, not your torturers, not the contractors, but other people in your program have lots of power, and they can put people against you. You know, I would never be able to find a job. Because they won't let me. They won't let me work. They want me here. So they can experiment on me. They don't want me working. You know. Um, Believe me, I tried just recently. I applied at 10 places. Not one called me back. And I have experience in the hurting for people, and no one calls me back at all. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. I feel bad for you guys if you guys are struggling, um, and all that stuff. If you can't find a job, and I don't want to see anybody out on the street. I would take any job you can, work any shift you can. Um, if you got a few bucks coming in, um, that would be the best thing. But it'd be a tough situation, a lot to deal with, and then you're dealing with your target on top of it. So it's, if you had someone to help you, that would be the best thing. Um, would I hop on a Greyhound and go to someone's house that I didn't know and they offered help? I would have to make sure he or she is a real TI. You know, like I say, there's lots of perps out there offering their houses up, and it's a big setup. I heard many, many stories of people getting set up, abandoned, left on the street, and you're stuck in the city and stuff like that. You don't know where you're at, and you're stuck out there. You're walking the streets and you don't know what to do. That's happened a lot. It's a setup. So there's a lot of fake TIs out there offering their homes, and they will set you up, and they'll make sure you're on the street in a town you don't even know. You don't even know anybody. You know, that would be scary. With having no money and no anything. So it's a tough situation. I would recommend not doing that. I wouldn't hop on a Greyhound and go to someone's house, and unless you knew for sure he or she was a real TI. But if you have family, that's the best thing. If you could crash at your family's house, try to get any job you can. Save a few bucks, and stuff like that. Try to get a vehicle and all that stuff. Cheap vehicle. Like I say, McDonald's is paying $13 an hour. If you worked 40 hours a week, that's pretty decent cash. It would, you could get a vehicle, $1,000 vehicle, $1,200 vehicle, and insurance and tabs and all that stuff. And, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. I'm not trying to give advice because I wouldn't know what to do either. But there's things out there that you could try to do. You could take the disability route if you were diagnosed and stuff like that, and you could try that route. But it's a tough situation. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this off. I've been rambling here. I'm sorry for that. So there's not too much going on. It hasn't been that bad of a day. I kind of ended up laying around a lot today. I was stuck in the house, no vehicle. They hit me a little bit here and there and stuff, but it hasn't been that bad, which means I could get it tomorrow. I could get it tonight. We'll just have to wait and see. Usually I get it 2 or 3 days a week, so tomorrow's Wednesday, so I could get nailed tomorrow. We'll see. They usually sneak their way in. Like on a Wednesday, they'll hit me a little bit, and then Thursday and Friday, they'll nail me, so we'll have to see what happens. Tomorrow's payday, and I'm broke. I am broke. I got like $100 for the month, to last me a month. $25 a week. I'll be living off my credit cards again, It sucks. I'm living with a relative, and I'm still broke, because I got lots of bills. Well, I'm trying to save up for a vehicle, too, and stuff, and there was a couple extra expenses I had to pay for, but it's tough. What do we do? I don't know what we do. Try to get a roof over our head and then go from there. If we have family, try to get along with your family. I wouldn't cause a big scene about this. If they don't believe you, I would drop it. If they will take you in and get a roof over your head, I wouldn't make a big scene about this. You know, you know. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this off. You guys have a good night, and I'll talk to you later.